In 1983, former LSU Tiger and Heisman Trophy winner Billy Cannon pled guilty to federal counterfeiting charges. He served almost 3 years in prison, but the fall from grace became a turning point in Cannon's life. In part 2 of Victor Howell's visit to a new Billy Cannon exhibit, he spoke to Cannon's daughter about her father's climb back to acceptance and how his tribulations led to a newfound path through service to others.
Where did dentistry enter? Was that something he studied at school? Did that come after he got out of school? Where did the medical side come from?
He was in the 4th and 5th grade, and he saw a dentist who would have parties for all the kids, youth groups and such like that, and he wanted to be that guy.
All right, so Bunny, now we have to kind of go to the other side of it, because you've got the rise in football and what he's doing in the community, and you said your dad was about family and education and community and education, but we also talked about how he was a bit of a loner, and I know a lot of his former players will say, we didn't really get to know him. Then he has the downfall with the counterfeiting and he has to serve prison time. Were a lot of people, when that happened, taken aback and wondering, boy, we really didn't know him, because he was somebody that kept so much to himself?
Yeah, and I think that's where all the misconception comes in, because he, when you are idolized by everybody and you make a mistake, I think that plays on them more because they feel like they let everybody down. And it led to just despair, really. And it wasn't until he started working at Angola, where he and there was a trustee named Roosevelt, what they did together in the last 25 years of my dad's life, they righted a lot of injustices that were going on with the prisoners there. So much so that they saved a lot of lives. And it's that story that I want to tell, because they healed each other and they didn't even know they were doing it.
Right.
And so their friendship and their story is really short of amazing.
So take us to Angola, because the prison time he serves in Texarkana, he's inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. This happens, they rescind the invitation to the Hall of Fame.
They do.
As you were saying, being a dentist in the community, a lot of people, and it happens in the business to this day, they refer others to people they know. He wasn't getting referrals. He is, as you mentioned, he's now the criminal in the spotlight that you can't turn off. So how did he get to Angola to then start the rebuild?
So Burl Cain I think he had just become the new warden at
Angola. Yes, long-time warden at Angola.
And he was looking for someone like my dad to come in and clean up the program. And Burl said, just come do it part-time. If you don't like it, you can leave. Just come do it part-time. And he went out there and he started part-time, and then he ended up full-time. And then he ended up over the dental clinic and then over the medical clinic and EMS. And so I think Burl realized by the time he left, it was a completely different place. When the prisoners would come in, the shackles would come off. And he didn't see color, he didn't see religion, he didn't see any of that. He saw a human sitting there that needed help. And then what Roosevelt would do is, Roosevelt tells the story that he would say, go see Roosevelt about that, go see Roosevelt about that. Well, what else can we do to help you? And so Roosevelt was counseling all these people on the side and after hours. And he'd go, Dr. Cannon, why did you send those people to come talk to me? And he said, because they need help. And that's what our job is to help them.
With all of the accolades that we walked past throughout this entire exhibit, NFL, the awards, the 10 times the amount of stuff you have at home.
Yeah.
If he was here and we had a chance to ask him, what is he more proud of? What made him feel better? The trophies? Angola.
This, by far. This and those gifts that they all gave him. These are all the gifts that the prisoners gave him, that they made for him.
As a thank you for the friendship, the service, just being there?
Just because.
Just because.
Just because.
What was the one that maybe meant the most to your dad?
I know he liked the Spurs. And then that picture over there is etched wood. It's burned in wood.
Mike the Tiger
and
the
Heisman? That one right
Heisman?
there, yeah. And if you'll go look at the detail of that, it's incredible. The bad wasn't that bad, because in our family, it was always laughter through tears. And so we laughed more during the worst times than most people would ever think. I mean, they probably think, man, y'all are kind of a little different, but you have to have laughter, and you have to put it in the right spot. And what everybody sees as it was really, really bad, for us, it wasn't that bad. It was bad, but it wasn't catastrophic. And so you have to put things in perspective. He didn't have cancer, he didn't die, he led a great life for 80 years, and we've been blessed with health. We don't have it that bad. 2 years in a federal pen is not that bad.
you know, there's so many people, if they're nothing more than LSU fans, your dad's name and memory will last forever because of the Halloween night. A lot of people don't remember he also made the tackle on the other end towards the end of the game. You can't forget about that.
And he says he made that stop, he made that run, he was over that line on Tennessee that next year. He said, I'm going, he always told me, he goes, I will go to my grave saying I made that one. And I know he did.
Made it across the line.
And he'd be glad that we brought that up today.
Right. But Tiger fans will always remember that, and it will always be replayed. I don't know how many people know the full story about Angola and going to prison and the counterfeiting, but as you look around now with everything you've set up, with the boxes and boxes that you still have at home, what does this mean for you?
You know, it really is a chance just for other people to see it. I grew up with it. I had it. I had him. But for other people to see it and for it to mean as much to them, it's important.